What's going on, guys? My name is James. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a checklist of things that you want to do when you're about to buy a used vehicle, or if you already bought a used vehicle, some things that you want to check over to make the bike safe and to figure out the things that you're going to need right off the bat. Let's get into it. So you're on Craigslist, you're on Facebook Market, and you're looking at these bikes, and some of them look so cool. But you see, oh my God, that's a lot of mileage on that. That has 45,000 miles, you know? On a motorcycle, most of the time you're not gonna go past, say, I don't know, 45,000 miles. You know, more than likely something's gonna happen where you're gonna need to change out a piston ring, or, you know, your jugs are gonna need to get changed. Something's gonna go wrong to the point where it's gonna be really expensive and it's gonna be very time consuming. So you really kind of want to stay with a bike that's no more than like 23 to 25,000 miles on it, because past then things are just going to start breaking down, things are going to start wearing out, and it's going to get very costly. Another thing too is you don't want to really buy a bike that's too old, something past 20 years, because it's going to be harder to find those parts as well. So you're going to want to make sure that, you know, buy something from, you know, the 2000s, you know, maybe the late 90s. Anything past that, you're gonna have to hop on eBay for all your parts, and sometimes they get really expensive. I had a Harley Ironhead, and it seemed like every single part that I bought for that thing was over $100, and sometimes they're hard to find too. So these are just ideas that you need to put in your head before you start thinking about purchasing a motorcycle. All right, let's hop on to the next thing. All right, so we're walking up to your possible new bike, and you're not sure what to check. The first thing I would check is the electrical. Now, the best way to do that, start hitting your turn signals. Okay, your left front's working. Let's check your left back. Left rear's working. Let's switch it over to the right. Right rear is working. Your front right is working as well. All right, we'll cancel those out. We're gonna check your horn. That's good. All right, now we're gonna check your high beams and low beams. All right, you got your low beams on automatically. And we're gonna switch this to the high beam. Okay, so you know that works. Next thing you wanna check is your front brake, and make sure that the light is coming out of the back. So we're gonna hit this right here. So you know that works. Now we're gonna check your rear brake, which is this guy right here. Make sure that the brake light's coming on as well. All right, now that works as well. All right, and there's one more thing that you wanna check for electrical, which is gonna be your license plate light. All right, and as you can see, the license plate lights are on both sides. A lot of states, they make you have these license plate lights. So it'll usually be in a little kind of a light bar here that'll shine down, but you won't really notice it. So you got to put your finger under it, make sure that everything's working there. All right, so the second thing that you're going to want to check is by asking the owner, hey, has this bike been in a wreck before? And you want to ask, hey, did the previous owner get into a wreck? You know, what's the deal? You know, what do you know about the engine? Does it leak oil? Anything like that? And most people are pretty honest with you. If a bike has more than, like, you know, 2 or 3 owners, it could have been laid down before, but you always want to ask. And if a bike's been in a wreck before, even in a bad wreck, you know, minor wrecks aren't a big deal. Hey, it fell over in the garage, that's why it's got a scratch in the tank. Not a big deal. But, you know, if you see that, hey, those are brand new forks, or, you know, you have like brand new pieces on it while other pieces are old, it makes you wonder, hey, has this been into a really bad wreck? Because if it has, you don't want to buy that bike. That bike is not going to last you a long time. These engine components are really, they're very, very tight. And once you get into an accident, those loosen, and they just keep loosening over time. So more than likely that engine's not going to last longer than, I don't know, it could be 5,000 miles, 10,000 miles, probably not even, you know? But when I buy an engine, I want to make sure that it's strong, secure, it's going to do everything that I need it to do, and I know that it's not going to, you know, take a shit on me quick. So try to avoid any accidents. Another thing is if the guy says, hey, you know, no, it doesn't leak any oil, you ask him, hey, does it leak any radiator fluid? And then you check the radiator and you check the engine, look around the sides. Oh, well, no, it doesn't look like there's any oil coming from anything. You look on the bottom. No, okay, there's nothing really. You can't really see it with this bike because I got the skid plate on, but you want to look under there and you want to make sure that, you know, no oil is dripping or there's not like a pool of oil or anything like that. I know on Harleys sometimes they have a little bit of oil here and there. That's not a huge deal, but you want to make sure that, hey, this thing isn't like continually leaking oil, because it could have a bad head gasket on it. It could have, you know, just a bad drain bolt for, you know, the oil. So you never know exactly what's going on. So you got to figure that out beforehand, because it's going to be a headache later on down the line if you have a leaking head gasket or a leaking rocker box gasket. So those are things that you definitely want to check for the engine. All right, so the next thing that you want to check out is going to be the tires and the suspension, okay? So with the tires, you want to look to make sure that, hey, is there any cracking? Is there any dryness in the tire? Is there any kind of defects in the rim? Because if that rim has any type of, like, you know, huge gouge in it or anything like that, this tire is just going to go flat all the time, and your inner tube's going to go flat as well. All right, so you want to make sure that you got enough tread on there and the tire isn't dry rotted. The second thing after the tires and actually checking out the rims, you're going to check out the spokes. Make sure that these are nice and tight, they're not loose and getting all wonky on you. You're going to check your rotor to make sure that the rotors are nice and clear and smooth on you. You're going to check your forks. You're going to take off this fork boot and you're going to press down on the handlebars, and you're going to see if there's any oil or anything seeping through there, because that'll let you know if your fork seal is just took a shit on you. So you want to make sure that there's nothing leaking from there. If there's a tiny bit of oil, it's not a huge deal, but you don't want to press the forks in and all of a sudden just boom, globs of oil come out. That's terrible. All right, we'll check the back here. And these tires are looking good too. You're going to look for those wear bars, which are right here. And yeah, we've got like 3/4 of an inch before we have to change these tires. So these are really safe and those are good to go. But yeah, that's about it for suspension. All right, so you do want to check out this gas tank. So sometimes you look in there and there'll be a huge like crust of, you know, rusty, just nastiness and gelled up like gunk in there, and you want to make sure that there's nothing like crazy in the tank, because if there is, that's just going to clog up, you know, if you have fuel injection, that'll clog up your injectors, that'll clog up your filters, it'll just do a bunch of damage. And sometimes the tanks are, you know, $200, $300, $400, $500 to replace the tanks, so you want to make sure that they're, you know, relatively clean. Doesn't need to be spick and span. If there's a little, you know, rust here or there, it's not a huge deal, especially on a vintage bike, but you want to make sure that these are relatively clean. All right, so you get to the time where you're going to hop on the bike and actually take it for a test drive. Never ever buy a bike without test driving it. You absolutely have to go through the gears to make sure that everything's okay and everything's functioning properly, because you never know, that clutch could be burnt out, the engine could have like some weird thing going on at, like, you know, 20 miles per hour. So you definitely want to make sure that you're going through all the gears. But before you actually turn on the bike and start it, you want to make sure that your brakes are working properly. It's a huge deal. One time I took off on a GXXR 1000 and there's no brakes on it, and I crashed and I had to pay the guy, and it was just a bad experience, you know. And I paid a lot of money for that bike. I got it running again and everything like that, but it's just something that you absolutely need to check before you go. So the front brake, check the rear brake, all right? Make sure it's not moving on you. So once you get going, you're going to want to shift through those gears. All right, you want to make sure that the clutch is engaging through all of the gears once you let the lever go. All right, now when you're going through those gears, you want to make sure that you're pulling in each gear as well, because if one gear you're not pulling in, that means that, like, hey, that plate is either burned, or you know, that gear has something wrong going on with it, you know. And listen to make sure that it doesn't have any weird like crunching noise or any type of like odd, you know, anything about it. And if you do, if you do hear something, tell the guy and be like, hey, what's going on with this? Why is third gear acting funny? You know, the guy might be like, oh, I think it might need a new clutch. So not only is that like better for your safety and your knowledge of when you buy the bike, but it'll give you definitely a discount as well. All right, so I hope you liked the video. In summary, basically the things that you want to look out for, I'm just going to run over it. The electrical system, the turn signals, the lights. You want to make sure that your tires are not worn out. You want to make sure your rotors are good. You want to make sure that when you're shifting through the gears, every gear has a good pull to it, so you know your clutch is good and you know that your transmission isn't doing anything wonky on you. You want to make sure that any sight glass that you can see for, you know, your front brake fluid, your rear brake fluid, you want to make sure that that's a nice golden or a clear color. Same with your oil, make sure that it's not too dirty, because that indicates that the guy just is not taking care of his bike. And always ask the guy, hey, has this been an accident? Because if it hasn't, you know, that's a good thing, man. If it has, sometimes, you know, you might run into big troubles and very costly and time-consuming troubles. So I hope this video is worth it for you, and if you like, give me a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. All right, we'll be back with the next video real soon. All right, take care, guys. Bye.